Good morning, for me anyway, everybody. Welcome to the Live Place Cruise-a-Thon. I am Dean, and I am really excited to have some great live streaming channels that have joined the Live Place recently. In fact, I have a few of them waiting behind the scenes, but let me start by saying hello to the chat here. So anyway, we've got Downunder Cruisers, we've got Raley Creative Travel. Blaine, good to have you here. We have Keith, big Disney fan. We have Tyler Show. Hey, good to see you. We have Danny from Griswold Family Vaca, and there's Cheri, Awesome Sunset Travels. And I think I'm pretty caught up on the chat. So a little information up front. So I've been working on the Live Place now for 2.5 years. Obviously, the website is very Disney focused, and there's it just started with all these great Disney live streamers, and I was really anxious to start a new category and was making some plans, and lo and behold, a category just kind of dropped into my lap, and that is cruising. Thanks to one of my good friends that's about to come on here. But before I do that, I'm going to have some of these live streamers are joining me today. They're going to come on and tell you a little bit about their channel. I'm going to ask them a few questions. And I've got one that's been waiting up, and it's very late in his neck of the woods, which is Australia. So I want to welcome Sean. Sean, good to have you on the stream.
Thank you for having me, and hi there to all your people that are watching.
As you can see from Sean's background, he is the Downunder Cruisers. And so what part of Australia are you living in, Sean?
So I live in the city of Melbourne, which is the capital of the state of Victoria, south of the country of Australia.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to ask you a few questions. So first off, when do you guys typically go live?
Our live stream runs our time every Saturday at midday, which is equal to 10 o'clock Eastern. And anything before Eastern, make sure you add the extra hour on. But we're on at midday, our normal live time.
So that is 10 o'clock in the Eastern time zone, if I got that right.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So, well, tell us a little bit about your channel. What does Downunder Cruisers like to talk about?
So Downunder Cruisers, we set it up because we wanted to sell the Australian, New Zealand area to the cruising community. My wife and I, and all the people that are in our area have very little information about what goes on cruising-wise in Australia and New Zealand. And also we thought that because we've got little information, we'd like to educate the rest of the community out there on the other side of the pond to come down here and have a look at what we've got to offer, because we think it's a pretty smart place. So come on down.
Would you recommend? Is there so these guys have been kind of telling me they're gonna by the end of this day I'm gonna book a cruise, which I've
Oh,
never
you
been
are.
on.
You don't have a choice.
I think that's what I'm getting here. So, tell me this, and this is going to be an ignorant question. Would one take a cruise from the United States to Australia, or is that just too far?
No, actually, we are planning that in hopefully in July of 2022. We want to come over there and do some cruising there, but take a repositioning cruise from the US to Australia.
Reposition.
Yeah, a ship repositions itself, or a company repositions a cruise ship from the US down to Oz and New Zealand area. So that would be an awesome cruise. Awesome.
I wanted to welcome a couple more people. I saw Us and More. Good to have you guys here. And D&G Explorers, Derek and Gregory. Good to see you here. Okay, so I got some questions here.
Fire away.
I know. So, first off, what's the biggest ship you've ever been on?
The Golden Princess.
And that's with what line?
It's with the Princess Cruises line.
Oh, Princess
actually, it's just been made defunct. It went to P&O Australia.
Okay. All right. So I got random questions here. So Sean, and your wife's name is Alana. Have you guys ever had any bad experiences on a cruise? I'm assuming that happens.
Yeah, it does, but we haven't.
You haven't? Okay, no bad weather or anything like that.
That's the fun time.
That's the fun time.
That's when you learn to be the person that you should be.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
So when I see, yeah,
all the negatives that occur is the time when you actually build the fortitude to become the better person.
Interesting. So when I've seen these videos where people are holding on to tables and sliding across the floor, that's the benefits of the bad weather, huh?
Yeah, for me that is. I don't know about anybody else out there. But we've been fortunate enough not to have any of that sort of weather.
Interesting. Okay. We have Jenner's Patter's Cruising Channel. Nice to have you here. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. All right. So, Sean, obviously I could ask you a lot of questions, and I know it's after 1 a.m. your time. So what I want to do is ask you, basically, you've connected with this live streaming community that Cheri introduced me to. Yep. What has the community meant to you?
Let me say that it has done an amazing thing of bringing people together. I've made incredibly amazing friends without actually stepping on board a ship with them, but just doing it through this live stream. People like TJ at Sailing Away with TNK, people like Heather and Dwight at Us and More, people like Blaine, etc. The list could go on, but I have made incredible friends out of these people.
Yeah. And you can tell this is a community that came together fast. To me, it seemed like it. Yeah. There's just a bond
and
there.
Blaine's fault, actually. Blaine from Raley Creative. It's his fault because he started off a Cruise-a-Thon. And that got a whole group of people that didn't know each other together. And you know what? I thank him, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have the friends I got today.
That's awesome. I will say, for my part, I agree with you. In fact, the community that I've connected with, it's just been unparalleled in terms of the friendships and the people that I want to hang out with. So,
well, it makes us want to come back to the microphone every Saturday afternoon and catch up with our old mates.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll build a bigger community from your neck of the woods, so you can spend some of those more normal hours streaming.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and share again what your channel name is, what you guys do, and when you live stream.
Okay, so we are the Downunder Cruisers. We're an Australian-based channel. Our focus is to get people to come and visit Australia and New Zealand, and you'll catch up with the banter between all of us. Our live streams run every Friday night, your time, 10 p.m., Saturday, midday, our time, and come on down, have a look-see.
We certainly shall. Well, thank you very much. And so, Sean, thanks for being on and staying up, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
It's a pleasure. Enjoy our show tomorrow.
All right, we shall do that. All right. Yeah. Oh, and just so I can say, so Sean is actually, so this day we've got live streamers going from 11 in the morning till 11 at night. Sean and Alana are the last ones. They're going on at 10 o'clock Eastern time. And I'm going to be on the show with them. And so looking forward to it.
Excellent.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. And
thank you.
See you later tonight.
Enjoy the day.
All right. Thanks. Bye, Sean.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let me get, let's see. Good to see Danny here. All right. My next guest is somebody that I will say I've known now for, I'm going to guess, about a couple of years. And she has been an extremely encouraging person for me and what I've been trying to do. And I am glad to have Cheri, Awesome Sunsets Travels.
Hi, Dean. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to be on the live place.
We finally get to stream together. I think this is a first.
I think it is. Awesome.
Yeah. Cheri. So Cheri has been the person that connected me with this incredible community, and I thank you for that, Cheri. You've been so nice to me, and so I appreciate that.
Well, Dean, I got to be honest with everyone. I know I've told you this millions of times, but I will keep saying it millions more. Dean, you were my inspiration for my live stream. You were my motivation. You keep me going. And when I wanted to quit, you were like, no, you got to hang in there, And so, I just absolutely adore you and the live place. I think you have built an awesome website there. I want to talk a little bit about you for a moment. So for those of you that may not be really familiar with the live place is like the TV guide for YouTube. Okay. So, he said earlier, it started out with the Disney community, but now it's branching out to other communities. So now we're, getting into the cruising community, and I couldn't be more excited. It is just fabulous. Great job, Dean.
Thank you, Cheri. Honestly, you guys will never know, but Cheri says I encourage her to go live. Well, she's the one who has encouraged me many times through emails, and always very positive. And Cheri, you've been going live how long on your channel?
2.5 years.
Yeah, you were one of the first live streamers that came to the live place.
Yeah. And I built so many friendships over there in the Disney community, and then the cruising community has really blossomed the last year, and it's just so exciting to see how people are connecting on YouTube. Because like Sean was saying, I would have never met these people, and now I consider them my best friends. I mean, it's just the live streaming just has such a deeper connection than anything that you could watch on TV, or like you said, go to the movies or anything like that. So it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Who would have thought? I mean, honestly, my reason for getting into this kind of started with Resort TV 1. It was where I fell in love with live streaming. And I said, man, I just got to get in the arena somehow. and I ended up starting the live place. It seemed like a good place to start, and things happened that I don't think you or I or most of us thought could ever happen.
Yeah, we never imagined, what the live place would bloom into. I mean, we only could dream. And, now it's actually happening and it's so exciting. And I'm so happy to see everybody here. Thank you guys so much for
Yeah.
coming. And so excited about the Cruise-a-Thon today. We have such an amazing lineup. You will not believe. Just go to liveplace.com. You'll see everybody's schedule there. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dean, they can just click on it and it'll take them right to their channel, most of them.
Yep. So if you go to the liveplace.com, all day long, you'll see featured on top, sort of like either the current or the next live stream that's going to happen. You can scroll down and see all of them. But some of them will actually show up live on the website, but you just click on go to channel, and then you can be a part of the chat and whatnot. So yeah, folks, as you're watching, please stop in all day long. These are great people, and they're going to be all day. So just bop in and out as you can, so you can meet these great live streamers.
I promise you, you'll love each and every one of them, just like we do.
Yeah, we got some great people. I want to really quickly, Cheri, point out this picture here. You're the perfect, let me see if I get my fingers right. You're the perfect person to bridge these two things. And that's kind of what this picture does, is it shows this connection between Disney and cruising. Tell us about your business. Tell us about why there's such a strong connection between Disney and cruising.
Well, Dean, I started my channel in, I guess 2018. And, for those of you that are not familiar with me, I am a travel advisor from the St. Louis area. And so on my channel, I have travel talk on Saturdays, every Saturday at 2 o'clock Eastern, which I will again today, that time. And so that's just where we talk about all kinds of vacation, cruise, Disney news, travel tips, deals, all kinds of things. And my passion for Disney runs, to an infant. I mean, my room, when I was 3 was totally decked out and everything Winnie the Pooh. I mean, we watched Disney every Sunday night, and that was just, a passion of mine from a small child. And then, as I became a teenager, it's kind of funny how meshed together, but try to make it short story. When I was 16, we went to Disney World, and Epcot had just opened. And, they have all the countries around Epcot. And so I went around all of those countries and just absolutely fell in love with the idea of traveling, and in world travel, and it just became a passion of mine. And then I had an opportunity to go to a travel school in Miami after high school, and actually studied it during high school, and then went to hands-on training in Miami after high school. And that's where I fell in love with cruising. I got to do my first cruise in 1987 to the Bahamas from Miami, and just absolutely fell in love with it. And so, the marriage between Disney and cruising is very great. And now that they have Disney Cruise Line and everything, so those of you that are Disney fans can also cruise the high seas on Disney Cruise Line. So it's amazing.
I have been to Disney now, Disney World over 20 times. I've been to Disneyland about 5 or so times. I have never done a cruise, so I know that for me to do a cruise, I would love to start with Disney. Do you recommend that you start with Disney, or do you start a little lower and work your way up?
For someone like you who is such a huge Disney fan, I think Disney is the only way to go. But you can definitely branch out, and I absolutely love Royal Caribbean and Carnival, and I've had clients on all of the cruise lines, and I have never heard anybody say, I'm never going to cruise again, you know, or anything like that. They're all like, when can we go again? You know, so.
Well, you're a travel agent, so I know that travel agents probably do more, and they have better discounts, right, and that sort of thing. So.
Well, yes, and you know, it's the personal service. It's the personal service that you can't get from the big guys. I mean, you know, you go to a website or you go, you know, try to call these big cruise lines or whatever it is, a Disney vacation or an all-inclusive or whatever it is, and you know, you sit there on hold for 2 hours or, you know, and then you get somebody different every time you call, and you know, it just, the list goes on and on. So definitely, if you need help with any of your vacation plans, please contact me or your favorite travel agent and get those trips booked. And especially with cruises, the farther out you book them, the better off you're going to be. And then your travel agent can also watch the prices, you know, and if they happen to drop, they can catch that drop for you and things like that. So, yeah, the advantage of going through a travel agent is so many, I couldn't even count.
Right, right. Oh, I would have no qualms. I would go to you. I would definitely make sure that you're taking care of me.
Yes, you need a professional in your life. Everyone needs a professional travel agent in their life.
Well, I would love to chat all day with you, Cheri. I've got a couple of people waiting in the lurch, and but I do want to ask you just a couple more questions, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay.
And then I've got where do my questions go? Oh, I lost my questions. Well, I had questions. Here they are. So, one more cruise question. Simple one: group cruise or not group cruise?
Oh, group cruise all the way. I am a group cruise specialist. Have been doing group cruises for years and organizing everything from friend travel to family reunion travel to now we have a YouTube group cruise going on. Me and Alana have teamed up from Alana Zingano channel, and we have teamed up for a group cruise. We're going January 24th, 2021. We still have cabins available. I have them on hold, so contact me if you're interested in that. We're going on the Explorer of the Seas out of Miami to Coco Key and Labadee, Haiti, both private destinations for Royal Caribbean. I'm so super excited. Oh, which reminds me, I'm having my representative from Royal Caribbean on with me today on my show at 2:00 Eastern. So make sure and tune in for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Cheri's at 2:00 today. Definitely check her out. One more question, Cheri, before I let you go, and I'm going to ask everybody is just from your own perspective, what is this community of cruising live streamers meant to you?
Oh my gosh. It's like I've found my family, you know, my lost family. I know a lot of people are, you know, going on these you know, what do you call it? Genealogy sites. Hi, Rob. Hi, everybody. So I know everybody's going on these genealogy sites to find their family. Well, I found my family on YouTube through the cruising community, through the Disney community. I'm like, these are my people, you know? So I am so excited to meet everyone and make friends with everyone. And these are lifelong friendships that we're making. It's amazing.
Yeah. You can just tell, and I've got a couple of people waiting in the background here that are great streamers and in this community as well. And so, Cheri, thank you again. I want to say, even in front of everybody, you've been a very special friend to me, and I appreciate it. And I wish you the best. And obviously, Cheri goes live on Saturdays at 2 p.m. Eastern time every week with Cheri Awesome Sunset Travels. So.
Yes, thank you so much, Dean. Thank you for all your hard work. We appreciate it so very much. Thank you all so much. Bye. We'll see you soon.
Bye, Cheri. Thank you. All right. My next guest is TJ from Sailing Away with T&K. TJ, awesome to have you here, my friend.
Thank you, Dean. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I'm a little high strung, and I haven't even had caffeine. How do you like that?
It is what it is. So,
So tell me, so TJ, you go live on Thursdays at 8 p.m. with your wife Kayla,
yes.
and the name of your channel is Sailing Away with T and K. And I'm
Yes,
going
sir.
to read your show description. TJ and Kayla love cruising and go live Thursdays at 8 p.m. to share their wealth of knowledge and experiences with you. So tell us a little bit about your channel.
Well, our channel, originally we started back in March of 2020 because watching other people's channels, we thought, hey, this is something we could do. Since something to actually document everything. Well, we had panorama books, we were all excited. Well, 2020 happened. So we decided, let's just change gears. So we started doing cooking videos, which we drop every weekend. We do, of course, our weekly live. We've done a Gatlinburg trip, which I'm slowly bringing out videos because we don't have our next cruise until June of next year on the horizon. So it's pretty much we have our group of great partner channels who help us out from time to time. We have a character who runs around called LaSex Ferguson, crazy guy who's part of the Twisted Trivia group too. That's a subgroup, and we're just a fun little group. We talk vacation, we talk Disney because only been on two cruises. Kayla's been on 22. But the thing is, I grew up in Tampa, Florida. My mom was the long short. Mom was chair for AAU. AAU's on Disney property. We got free tickets to Disney every weekend in the summer growing up as a
Wow.
kid. So I know a
Oh,
lot
man.
about Disney, and we had passes to Universal. So I know a lot about the theme parks. And even though we live in Gonzales, Louisiana, still got friends out there who kind of keep me updated what's going on and things of that nature. So she does know a lot more about cruising than I do, but I know a lot more about the theme park vacation. So
So how did you say she managed to get on 22 cruises? What?
she started cruising 10 years ago, and she pretty much did 2 or 3 a year. And she
Wow.
brought me on my first one, which was a New Year's Eve cruise on the Royal Caribbean Vision Sea of 20 go to 2019, which was the smallest Royal Caribbean boat. And last year we did my second. She brought me on my second cruise, which was the Carnival Vista, which I went from the smallest Royal Caribbean boat to one of the largest Carnival boats they have. So, which
And
is the Vista class.
what did you prefer? There's advantages to smaller, right?
Not really, because usually the smaller is going to be an older boat. Ownership,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay.
Like the ship Vision C was like from the late 90s, early 2000s, while Vista was from 2016, and it was daylight dark difference. I prefer bigger, newer ships. That's just my preference. Because I
Okay.
like all the amenities they have, just there was never not anything to do on Vista. That's what I loved about it. Like there was stuff going on everywhere. So, but we are giving Royal Caribbean a second chance. We're going to go on Oasis class next Thanksgiving, which will be Harmony of Seas, which I'm really looking forward to because I've always wanted to do that class of ship.
Okay.
And that's the as of right now the biggest class of ship you can go on any cruise line. So we're very excited to do that next year.
Wow. What do they have on ships of that size that make it so fun?
Well, they have something I haven't seen really, which is indoor. They call it inside balconies because you actually have like the boardwalk. You have like you have a city walk. Like you have an inside of a ship that looks like a downtown of a city. They have pretty much these machines where you can learn how to surf on or boogie board on. They have a zip line that runs through the middle of the ship where you go over those courtyards from top. And then they have a dry slide that goes on the back of the ship that goes from the top all the way down to the bottom. Plus, they have in the back of the ship they have a high diving show because they have a diving pool in the back. So it's a lot of
God,
things you're not going to see on a normal ship on that one, just because it's
wow.
so big it can handle all that.
I'm assuming that on a big ship like that, you have more restaurant options and that
Oh yeah,
sort of.
more restaurant options, more of everything. More because you got to on Oasis. I think it's almost 6,000 people. So I mean, you have to
Wow.
have stuff for people to do everywhere. It was
Yeah.
like Vista. Vista was 4,000, but we never really outside of day one getting on the ship because we had that 10-hour fog delay. The only time we saw how many people, but after that, you never felt like there was that many people on the ship at once because it was so spread out.
Do you think that with the big? I'm going to ask all my cruising ignorant questions since I've never
Mm-hmm.
been on one. Do you think that with the bigger ships, when people port, they're more likely just to stay on the ship when they port?
No, actually, I would say across the board on a port day, everybody majority's getting off because that's one reason why you're going on a cruise is to go to exotic locations. I mean, there's some places like Kayla and I are a little burned out in Mexico right now because I've been to Cancun, Cozumel 5 times, well, six now, and so is she. So we stay on port days when we have to do a Western Caribbean cruise. But the advantage of staying on a ship is no one's on there. They have discounts like on the spa and everything that usually you have to pay for an upcharge for. There's usually discounts for when you're port. So if you stay
Oh,
on,
okay.
so that's one thing we kind of like. That's usually like when we went on this last cruise, went to Jamaica. The of us really wanted to get off the ship. We did a spa day out of it, and I think we saved like 40% on everything we did.
Wow. Wow, that's really good. I did want to say hello to my partner, Rob Fuzz, who is on. Good to have you here, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Also to Anthony Manzano. And I also saw Pearl Manhattan in here. And if I missed you, go ahead and post again. I appreciate that. I don't know if I said hi to MGM Family Travel, but good to have you in the
Hey,
house.
Bill.
And I think Bill's might be on later, but he's going to be on at some point today. So I can't
Yeah,
remember
he's
what
got
time.
Lily Loco with him today. I think coming on for a little while.
What's that again?
He's got one of the bigger channels, the Lita Loca, on I think coming on his show today. That's one of the
Oh,
upper echelon channels. Like they have
oh, is
me
that
doing.
right? Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's great, Bill.
Yeah.
Let's see. What did he say here? Time to get ready for LLL. See you guys soon. All
All right,
right.
Bill. Good luck.
Yeah. All
Oh, if
right.
you notice
Oh,
in the real quick in chat, I mess with Tyler. I always call it a boat, so he has to correct me all the time. Call it a ship.
boat ship.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Okay.
Oh, there it is, right there.
Yep.
All right. Let me ask you a couple of more of my. I got my questions here.
Okay.
Okay. So you've obviously only been on two cruises, but
Mhm.
for you, what was your absolute favorite part about it?
Favorite part is just seeing exotic locations. Like last cruise we went to the Grand Cayman Isles, which was probably the most beautiful place I've ever been to in my life. I like seeing different cultures. I like learning all about that. Grew up in Florida. It's a culture. It's basically the melting pot of America, is what I call it. And I like being able to see how things run differently, how little everything is. And I just like to relax because I work a high stress job, so it's nice to get on the ship and nobody can call you.
So you would not be one of those people who stay on the ship when you're at port.
Normally not. Normally we are going to get off. Normally we have excursions. I mean, it's just that one time we just did feel like doing it that day, but we usually like get off the ship in port days and just kind of see everything. Like we're already looking at excursions for the cruise in June. So
Okay. Oh, nice. Um, what would Kayla say was her favorite place to port at?
um, let's try to think. She liked St. John, which is actually our logo. Is our picture is something she
Oh,
took in 2015. A picture of it. Our logo is actually a personal picture she took. That was her favorite place she told me she ever been to. She said it
okay.
was just beautiful there, white sand beaches, everything was clear. She just really loved that island.
Nice. Okay. Well, I've got somebody else waiting, but
Okay.
I want to ask you lastly, or two more questions, which is explain what the experience has been like for you. I can tell that you've got, when you and I and Sean were talking earlier, I could tell you guys had a good friendship and a good rapport with each other. Talk about the friends you've made through this community and what that's meant to you.
Well, actually, the friends we made, the first ones we made was with us and more. We actually found them through a larger. Actually, Leah Loca has a cruise community. Like, drop your newest vlog, and I went there to start friending people. We ended up on Us and More's Live, and they're the ones who pushed us to start going live. Do
Really?
our first one, and since then we kind of got with them. We got with Bill and Lucy at MGM. We've got with Down Under. We pretty much that's kind of like our partnership channels we have right now.
Yeah.
Got to meet Blade, of course, the Tyler Show, Griswold, Ronnie from Life is Good Today who just showed up. It looks like.
Yeah.
Cheri, it's like friends that you would never think you meet because like even with my partner channels, there's one of us in the Northeast, one of us is in Fort Myers, Florida. There's us in Gonzales, Louisiana. There's Sean Alana all the way in Melbourne. I never knew I would have a friend in Australia before. So that's what's
Yeah.
kind of cool. It's not just meet people, or you meet people from different parts of the world. So, and also like getting to meet Raphael from Viso's Travels. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just et cetera, et cetera. It's just been great. Just being good friends, especially with all of us being cooped up right
Yeah.
now. It's been nice to be able to meet new people this way.
For sure. Yeah. Well, let's remind everybody when your live streams are. I know they're on Thursdays. Why don't you tell what your show is about?
It's Thursday, 8 p.m. I always gotta say 7 Central because we're in Louisiana. That's the way I remember everything. It's a cruise life. Usually we have a theme for today. I came with a theme for today, which is going to be themed holiday events at theme parks and cruises, like Halloween Horror Nights, House Scream, themed cruises like Christmas cruises, Halloween cruises, New Year's Eve cruises. Since we do a lot of that, we pretty much we'll make a theme, and that's pretty much when we'll get the chat to ask questions about that. That's how we just flow. Me and Ken just ping pong off each other for an hour, and it's always a good time.
Nice. Well, thank you, TJ, for coming on. Appreciate it.
Not a problem.
And nice to get to know you.
Oh, thank you. Nice getting to know you too.
All right. Thanks, TJ. Again,
All right.
check him out on Thursday nights at, let's see, I
8
think
p.m.
he's at 8 o'clock. So.
And I'll see y'all again at 5 o'clock today.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you'll be on at 5. Okay. Thanks,
Yes.
TJ. All right. My next guest, he just happened to mention, which is nice to have Dwight and Heather from Us and More. Thanks, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. We've had some coffee already.
I'm questioning whether I made a bad decision not having any caffeine today, but I am pretty high.
Yeah.
You're going to need it for the whole Cruise-a-Thon.
Yeah. It might be you might get like an hour or two in, and then you'll realize like
I am not a coffee drinker, and so if I want, I'm usually a Diet Coke guy, and that's where I get my caffeine.
There you go.
well, at least it's not like Diet Pepsi.
It's not like what?
Diet Pepsi.
Oh yeah.
Pepsi sucks. But I like Dr. Pepper though, so.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a Dr. Pepper guy, and they got good Diet Dr. Pepper as well. Well, Dwight and Heather, nice to have you here. And first off, let me just have you go ahead and share a little bit about Us and More and what your channel is about.
So I'll start, I guess.
I'm in the chat.
We started the channel with us, and then we called the More part our two kids, Caitlin, who's 13, and Casey, who's 10. So it's kind of
turned 13.
Yeah, she just turned 13 on Thursday. But we just decided to put the channel together for our family that doesn't live here in Florida, and so they could share our memories along with us. And then all of a sudden, our channel started to grow into the community.
And just for the kids too, to be able to look back on eventually. Like right now, they don't really participate in a lot of our lives. But
they do like the vlogs. They do like to be part of the vlogs.
Yeah, but when they are a part of our lives, there's never a dull moment.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way. But and another reason is, our son is autistic, so it's traveling with him is a little more
challenging.
It is. I don't want to say it's difficult, but it is. It's a little more challenging. So like there are some people that I'm a part of a group on Facebook that have autistic children, and a lot of them are like, well, how do people even go on vacation with kids like this? And I just want them to see, like, it's a challenge, but it's doable.
It can be done.
You just have to make the right accommodations. Like, you'll see in some of our vlogs that he might be under a table in the main dining room, or not the main dining room, but like the buffet area. So it's just, there's so many different reasons and so many different things that go along with the more.
Yeah.
So.
That's good. So, there is a lot of that. A lot of people are dealing with that now. So is that something that you've addressed in your vlogs or your live streams, or
with him being autistic? Yeah, we do mention that, especially coming up on a cruise. We're constantly, remind you, okay, like, some people are like, well, why do you have to bring so many more,
bags for him. And it's like, well, he has his sensory bag, he has his medicine bag, then he has his travel bag. And so it's like, we do have to kind of go through those steps. Like, okay, do we have his headphones? Do we have his stuff, favorite stuffed animal he can't literally live without? Do we have his sensory toys if he starts getting overwhelmed? Do we have this in case of that? So it's like, we go through this process with everybody on our vlogs because that's our life. That's just what we have to go through. We can be in the store and he's in the cart covering himself up because he can't handle it. So there are vlogs with that in there. It's just part of us. Yeah. It is. And and a lot of people need to be aware of that, in my opinion, because some people will go to a store and they'll see a kid freaking out, but they don't realize that it's not a kid acting out. Sometimes it's like, it's my kid, because he can't handle the crowds. So it's just kind of giving people another perspective of things. So there's like a lot when it comes to the us and more. It's just, and it's also Kaylin's journey dealing with him as her, as his brother, or as her brother. So it's like, it's all of our dynamics to our family. There's so much to it. And that's why the name was so perfect when we came up with it. It's because it's not just us. It's not just a family of 4 traveling. It is so much more that we put into it. That's, that people get to see, So we don't have any problems with him being live and, or when we went to isolation and he came up with the whole hot solation and warm solation. I mean, like, who comes up with that? Like, he does. So, like, but that's just who he is. And he's an amazing kid. Don't get me wrong. He's got his challenges, but, here's Perk autistic son. Yeah. So, it's just, he is a level 2, which means he's not high functioning, but he's not like the bottom of the barrel type thing. I mean, he talks. That's pretty much where they kind of drew that line. Like, okay, well, he's verbal. So, I mean, like, there are challenges, but, like I said, it's just, there's so much to us and more. You really just have to kind of like dive into our vlogs and not just cruise vlogs. Like there's, like I said, like we go into, you might see him under the table, or, you might not see us because we're in the room, and, you might be on his, camera. So it is what it is.
I think I really appreciate you sharing about it. We've had to deal some with that in my family as well, and I know that it's the numbers. It's very it's a lot more common, and it's just something we've had to, as a society. How do you deal with it? And it's comforting to know others like you are transparent about it, sharing about it, makes you feel like you can do it.
I think it educates people.
and that's the thing. It's a lot about education. A lot of people are still stuck in this
well, punish him if he's acting out.
Yeah, like, okay, he's screaming, beat him. And it's like, okay, like, there's a difference. He can either be acting out, which you would know, or he can't comprehend what's going on. So how are you supposed to beat the comprehension into somebody? Like, you can't. Not that I would beat my kids, but what I'm saying is like that's what some people's reactions are. And it's, a lot of people are still stuck in this, oh, well, autism wasn't around in my day. Well, no, it's just because a lot of people didn't talk about it. And I think the more we talk about it,
the more people start to understand it.
Yeah, and become more aware of other people around them.
Wow.
I mean, they're smart kids. I mean, you get him in front of anything that's computer programming, this child can hack into just about anything. Mm-hmm. I mean, mathematics to him are a game. Like, he is a whiz. I went to school for IT, programming and websites and things like this. And he's sitting here hacking into the game, pulling up the open source and just sitting here plugging things in. And I'm like, how did you even, like, I went to school for this. Like, how did you get this? And, he's like, oh, well, Mom, I just want this, so I have to go in here, and you have to put it in like this, or else it won't work. And I'm just like, how did you even figure this out? But to him, he is a genius. But in the same aspect, if you asked him to do 3 different things at one time, pick up the red ball, go put the cup in the sink, and pick up the piece of trash off the floor, he couldn't do all 3 of those things.
we are dealing with that very same thing, and my oldest has incredible mathematical skills. He's studying engineering, but some of those social things, obviously, though, they are very challenging. So thank you. That really was like sort of one of the surprising topics that I wasn't planning on, and I think that was really helpful. And Pearl and others have said that they're really happy you shared that.
Thank you, Pearl.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you both a couple cruising questions. Dwight, I'll start with you. How many cruises? Well, have you guys been on the same number of cruises?
No.
Okay.
I've been on 6.
6. Okay.
And you've been on
How about
4?
you?
4.
Yeah, she's been on 4. And
So-
we both have 2 currently booked.
Okay. All right. So Dwight, what's your favorite experience, favorite cruise line, favorite place to go to, that sort of thing?
As of right now, I am not cruise line loyal, but my favorite right now is definitely Royal Caribbean. I just seem to have a better experience on Royal Caribbean. But my favorite cruise ship right now is Allure of the Seas.
Okay.
And my favorite port is St. Martin.
St. Martin. Okay. What do you so like when I hear about these places, I don't know, St. Martin, some of the islands down there, and they're not coming to my mind. What makes one better than the other?
Preference?
Well, yeah, preference, the prettiness of it, the things to do
there.
right there, near the port, or even excursions to do.
Okay.
The friendliness of the natives, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. The overall experience, huh? Well, all right. So, Heather, same question to you. What's been your favorite cruising experience?
So I'm, again, not the same. Like we're not really brand loyal, but I love Royal Caribbean, Allure of the Seas, obviously. And I also like St. Martin. It was just pretty. It was one of those places you can go and spend all day at the beach right there at the port, and the kids had a blast. They had this building with like a pier, and the kids would just run up on it and jump into the water. And they just did this all day long.
And the water is crystal blue.
And it was the perfect temperature. It was amazing. I also homeschool my kids. So they actually got to learn a lot about the ports that we went to before we went there. So it was really cool learning about St. Martin, because St. Martin is actually split into 2 different parts. Do your research on it. It's really interesting. And there's 2 different spellings for each part. And so it's really cool that they were able to make that connection. Some of the things that we got to see while we were there, it was like they picked up on. So seeing that spark in them as well, just kind of made the whole experience, I guess.
Very nice. Well, I hadn't looked at the clock, and I have like 11 minutes, and I got 5 minutes of stuff that I got to keep here. So let me wrap it up by asking you guys each one more question, which is what I've been asking everybody. What has this community meant to both of you that you've, and I've heard already people obviously talking about the friendships they've made with you. What has it meant?
It's definitely the friendships, Sean and Alana, TJ and Kayla, and Bill and Lucy, part of our partner channels. They have been amazingly supportive to us. There's been other, even bigger channels that, have subscribed to us and started to watch our vlogs and our lives and so on and so forth. It's just, it's I don't want to say it's overwhelming, but it's overwhelming.
Yeah. I think a lot, like everybody's saying, it's not just friends, it's family.
Yeah.
It's finding that other part of who you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And making that connection. I mean, I can sit here and tell you just about anything about anybody, and I've met nobody in person, but it's like you connect. Yeah, you connect with these people.
And it's cool having all these different friends, like TJ was saying, all around the world.
Yeah.
Who knew we would be friends with somebody in Australia?
Yeah. I mean, just the connections that you make are just beyond friendship.
Even though the people in Australia drive on the wrong side of the road. Sean.
Oh, they do there too? Oh.
Yeah. But I mean, it's so much more than just a community. It's everybody stepping up and just being a part of everybody else's lives. It's just so much more than a community. It really is.
Yeah.
Very much agreed. Well, gosh, great to have you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you. So, Dwight and Heather, what time do you guys go live today for your thing?
We go live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so we're definitely looking forward to that.
So you're second to last.
Yes.
Yeah. And normally we go live every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We used to be 8, but we moved it to 9. And every other Tuesday, which this is our Tuesday coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
We alternate with MGM.
We alternate with MGM Family.
Okay. I don't. Do I have that right at the site yet?
No, I did check the other day. It wasn't correct yet.
Okay, so alternate. So this Tuesday will be you guys,
yeah,
right?
The Tuesday is correct, but it's the Friday that's wrong.
The time.
Oh, the Friday's wrong. Okay.
Yeah, because we moved the time on Friday from 8 to 9.
Oh, sorry. Okay, 9 o'clock.
But Tuesday, I think you have it right.
Good, and alternating with MGM and Bill, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, Heather, Dwight, thanks again for joining me. And again, thanks for opening up and sharing about how you are walking through some of those challenges, because I think a lot of us can relate, and that was very helpful.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right. Well, first off, there's a whole bunch of people that I did not get to say hello to, and I do apologize if I missed you. I saw who did I see was on here earlier? I saw Ronnie or Alma, and I didn't get to say hi to them. I see MidLife Crazy jumped on, and Arthur Harris, good to have you here. D Incognito, good to see you. Again, I know I missed some people, and I do apologize. So let me wrap this up. Let's see. So Jenner's Patters says, I met Alana and Rafael Zingano last night and a few others who I always see in the chats, and it was awesome to meet them in person. Wow, that's really cool. So Alana was one of the first people also that came to the live place. And so that's really cool that you got to meet them in person. I see Amy of AGC Magic TV. Good to have you here, Amy. So again, my special thanks to Cheri. Cheri was the one who initiated this. Really appreciate it. Blaine, I know, has a lot to do with how this all started in the Cruise-a-Thon. So Blaine, thank you. Blaine will be on at some point today. And in fact, go to go to the live place and you will see all of these live streams that are going to be on every hour. So I've only got 6 minutes left, and I wanted to recap when people go live. And Dwight and Heather just said I need to make an adjustment. So basically, Monday nights we have Raphael from Viso's Travel, and he does Monday night trivia. On Tuesday, we have Blaine who goes live. Monday at 8 o'clock, we have Blaine from Raley Creative Travel who does Monday night travel chat. On Tuesday nights, I don't have this quite right, but basically I just had Dwight and Heather on from Us and More. They go live at 8, 8, but they alternate with MGM Travel with Bill. So it's an every other week thing. So That's not quite accurate there. Raphael goes live also on Tuesday nights at 6:55 with his travel talk. On Wednesday, you're going to see that we have at least 2 cruising channels going live every day. And then on Friday is our big day. So Wednesday, D&G Explorers, one of the first live streamers at the live place. Love Derek and Gregory. I've been fortunate to be on their show, and Derek's been on my show once. And Danny from Griswold Family Vaca does late night trivia at 10 o'clock. Danny is awesome, and he'll be on later today as well. Okay, and let me go to Thursday. We've got Thirsty Thursday, and that let me make sure, because I with the names I'm still getting them down. So Ronnie and Alma from Life is Good Today do Thirsty Thursday at 9 o'clock, and then at 8 o'clock we have TJ and Kayla, and I had TJ on here earlier, and they do Thursday Night Live at 8 o'clock. So definitely check out those two guys. And then on Friday, we've got 5 live streams, cruising live streams on Friday night, starting at 7 o'clock with, again, Life is Good Today with Ronnie and Alma. They do their Friday night live show. 8 o'clock, it's Us and More again with Dwight and Heather, and they do their Friday night live as well. Then at 10 o'clock, we've got Sean and Ilana, and Sean was on with me earlier. He goes live at 10 p.m. I've got some of these things in the wrong order. I think I was trying to be tricky. But Alana goes live at 9 o'clock, and Travel the World with Alana and her husband, Raphael. They are awesome, and they've been around for a long time. So definitely check them out. And finally, on Friday, we've got Two Travel and Tour, and they have the Night Owl edition. They're also from Australia. They're on at 11:45. So if you're up late, you definitely got to check them out. On Saturdays, we've got, of course, Cheri with Travel Talk with Cheri, my good friend and definitely a great live streamer. Check her out. Danny also goes live on Saturdays at 8 o'clock with his Saturday Night Live variety show. So that is Saturday. Sunday, we've got J&N Travels with John and Nancy. They go live at 5 o'clock, and so that is their Name This Travel Videos. It's their live Sunday show. And MidLife Crazy with Brad and Kimberly. And Brad and Kimberly go live at 6:30 p.m. for their Sunday Fun Day Live. And so check them out. And finally, thanks again for joining. Appreciate it. Hope you guys can drop in all day long. Again, go to theliveplace.com. You can link directly to these channels and when their live streams are. We'll be doing some more category launches hopefully later this year, but this cruising one was a really good one that, again, I thank Cheri for bringing that to me. And so finally, the live place now is over 110 channels, and I think I have most of them in there now. I want to thank my partners, Resort TV 1, Josh and Jenna, Road Trip Dave, my good friend, A Disney Life for Me, Miguel and Daniela, and of course, my good friend, Rob Fuzz. Those are my partners. And finally, my message, which is the end, or should I say the beginning of your future. It's been a great show. Thank you. I'm going to stop now, and the next show should be coming. So thanks.